All right, good morning, everybody. Session number 811 for you today. And let's take another look at what we are doing. Okay, so one of the most important things that we are doing here is tapping into the power of oneness. Okay, so we are not only mental, physical, emotional beings, but we are also energetic beings. And at the level of energy, as you know, the world is energy, we are energy, and we are completely connected to that world. And it's a very powerful world. And that world listens to us. Okay. The more clearly you send out to signals to that world, the more it supports you in your intentions. So it's useful to tap into the power of that oneness that we are. So Nitiji, would you be kind enough to read this for everybody? Because your diction and enunciation, I really love it.
A human being is a part of the whole called by us as universe, part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings as something separate from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest to us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion, to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. Albert Einstein.
And we know who Albert Einstein is, isn't it? So guys, let's reflect on this for a moment. Okay, so that we actually get it. Okay. And as we are reflecting on it, I'll be very happy to listen to any thoughts that you all have, yeah, connected with this statement. So what is it that you're getting when you're reading this? Especially, you know, our actual experience, which we are so right about, is that we experience ourselves, our thoughts, feelings as something separated from the whole, isn't it? Separated from the rest, a kind of optical illusion of our consciousness. Isn't this what we are always trying to preserve? This separateness that we are experiencing. So for navigating this journey of life, we have to experience it, I suppose. Now, you check and see, aren't we experiencing ourselves, our thoughts, feelings as something separate from everybody else? And this delusion, it's a delusion because it's not real. We believe it. I mean, the world believes it. So we have all created a reality of I, right? So it's a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to give affection only to a few people whom we allow into our lives. Okay. So our task here in the EMC is aligned with what he's saying here. Our task is to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty. That's what our task is. All right, and let's begin that journey once again. We are already on that journey. Let us recreate and live that journey once again. So let's do a little understanding of what I mean by this. Okay, oneness. Yeah, to believe in this thought of oneness is not a religion, it's not a cult, it's not a philosophy. It is a truth. Because those who have done Vipassana and other such things, they would have experienced that oneness. Am I right, Vetrivel? You've been to Vipassana. Did you experience it? At least you experienced yourself as an energy being. Yes? Vetri?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you want to say something about that? That truth which you experienced sitting over there?
They just go to this through our breathing exercise. And
No, don't tell us the process.
says,
What did you experience when you reached that state?
we start to get the glimpse of the oneness, sir.
Yeah. So how does that feel? And is it explainable to anyone?
Very, very tough, sir. But what we talk here, that ease, joy, and glory, and all, you will have it in your experience.
But you have to invest something for that, no?
100%, sir.
You have to invest 10 days of 9.5 days of our time over there. So it is a truth that this oneness is there because we are a part of the whole, right? So every being, every one of us, everything in this universe, the stones, the flowers, the leaves, the plants, everything is a part of this integral, omnipresent, single resource and power. We are all a part of it. We experience ourselves separate from this, that's different. We are all a part of it, we are, and every one of us is a part of it. Now, any decisions, that we make coming from this thought process. Now tell me, in the EMC, have you not experienced that? Whenever I make you do the expansion exercise, and you expand yourself energetically to include everything and to include the universe, this is a time when you experience yourself as the whole, isn't it? So any decisions that come from your wholeness, any decision that comes from your infinite self, it cannot be wrong, okay? Do we trust it? That's another matter. Our problem is that energetically we are getting so many messages, but our logical mind, which we always use to understand everything, is this logical mind allowing me to accept that? So this line which I've put over here is for you to understand that, listen, tell your brain or your logical mind that anything that comes from the whole, when you get it energetically, it can never be wrong for you. My experience in life, friends, is that your mind always tells you, now listen to this very carefully, your mind tells you what you should want. Ab ye shoulds kahan se aaye? Where did we get all this stuff about I should want this and I should want this? You are a girl, you should get married. तुम्हारा एक ही पर्पस से शादी करो और बच्चे पैदा करो. Where did we get this shoulds? And if you're a man, the should is that you should go and earn the bread and look after your family. I'm not saying it's wrong. So mind always tells you what you should do, and the energy universe always tells you what you really desire, So the oneness is the one inside of which you are existing, and the oneness has a purpose maybe. And if you listen to that purpose, you would be fulfilling that purpose. Nahin? But our mind, which mind, body, emotions, brain number 1, brain number 2, always thinks it knows better. So we want to listen to that. So what is there? So this truth, this oneness is the core of every sustainable relationship, endeavor, happiness, and success. Everywhere. But this is what makes possible a life of ease and joy. When you're there, you're not separate from anyone. You don't need to. You remember, I keep talking about the 5 elements of an intimate relationship. Anybody remembers that? Hmm?
Yes.
So it's
Honor.
vulnerability,
Yeah.
trust.
Honor, trust, allowance, gratitude, and vulnerability.
Yes,
So when
sir.
you're in a state of oneness, do you need to be invulnerable? In oneness, you can be vulnerable, no? It's like, with some people with whom you're so close, you're totally open and vulnerable. You don't need to put up any defense. You don't have to put on a mask. You are just being you, isn't it? So when you're operating from oneness, would you not be open and vulnerable? If I am not separate from you, and I can honor you, no, because I am you. If I don't honor you, I'm not honoring myself. You get it? If I don't trust you, I'm not trusting myself because I am you. If I'm not in allowance of you, I'm not in allowance of me because I am you. If I'm not grateful for your being there, I'm not grateful to me because I am you. And if I am you, then do I need to put up any walls and barriers and protection between you and me? No. Because I am you. I'm all of it. See, our logical mind finds it so difficult to comprehend it. Because our whole life is built on what? Think. Our whole life is built on what? Understanding, comprehending, knowing. What's your life built on? So when we are in oneness, we will have a life free from struggle. No? Because when you are vulnerable, why would you be struggling? When you're vulnerable, why would you be resisting and reacting? Because most of our energy, most of our tiredness, most of our struggle is coming from reaction and resistance. No? Suppose we stopped reacting and resisting, would it not be so easy? Have you ever considered that how much of your time every day is going in reacting and resisting? Reacting and resisting, reacting and resisting. So oneness connects us to all life. There is no separation. We go beyond the ego and think of the big picture. We go beyond our selfish agenda and strive to uplift all of us. All of life. So the important question is, what is stopping us from being in oneness? Because we are always in a state of duality. What is duality? Duality is what? Comparison, contrast, and division of things. The ego separates us. Everything. It believes that it is special and it is unique. We believe in opposites. Example of opposite is what? Right, wrong, good, bad, all that is opposite. Na? Good versus bad, right versus wrong, comparison. Duality causes attachment, causes suffering, it causes aversion. We are reactive and we resist. We are engaged in a struggle with the circumstances and we cannot accept oneness. This is a good time for me to explain to you the three brains. Like I said to you many times, this is a very simplified structure of the mind for us to understand what's happening with us most of the time. Okay, because we will be referring to it again and again. And as you might have noticed, I do refer to it again and again. Okay, so there are three brains we have. I mean, very simple, simplified way of explaining the brain. Brain is a very complex mechanism, as you know. So brain number one is the brain which is always, when you are not in oneness, what do you need? You need to protect yourself. Okay. So this primitive brain at the brain stem, the limbic brain, interesting brain. It has no choice. It can only, it's like a computer, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1 at the base of it. There is no control. The only purpose of this brain is to survive you or whatever you think you are. Okay. This is when you will either run or you will fight. Fight and flight are only two extreme emotions that are there. It's happening all the time, almost all the time. What is the purpose of this brain? Survival of you, your opinions, your beliefs, your convictions. And the only purpose that it has is to avoid harm and pain and keep you safe and secure. Now, this brain was developed when, the world was primitive. There were predators all around. Jungle mein rehte the, you needed to protect yourself. Today, are you in a jungle? Yes and no. You're in the urban jungle. Right? Even for very insignificant things, we have the same reaction like we would have when somebody is trying to kill us. Yeah. So reaction is going on all the time. Tell me one thing, guys, when you're reacting, who's in control? Are you in control? No. Then who's in control? Because reaction takes over you. Na? So whatever it is that you are reacting to, जिस चीज का प्रतिरोध कर रहे हो, that is what is controlling you. Not you. And the brain doesn't work. Because what happens is, when you are in a reaction mode, certain hormones or chemicals are pumped into your body, which are highly corrosive. They increase your heartbeat. They raise your blood pressure, because you need that to run and fight. No? So when that is released, at the same time, they switch off this thinking brain, brain number 3, which is the most potent part of you. That brain is switched off. Because that time you don't want to think, you just want to run or you just want to fight. Okay, that's brain number 1. Yeah, any questions about this? So let's make this very, very clear for those who don't understand it. If I'm going too fast or something. You understand brain number 1? That's the reactive brain. It's the automatic brain. When I say you're in auto mode, this is where you are. Fight and flight. Then we have brain number 2, the midbrain. I call it the analyzer. That's my name I've given for it. Yeah, this is the companion of brain number 1. ये दोनों साथी है. Okay. This brain has also very little choice. Why? Because it runs your automatic patterns and habits. जितनी भी आपकी आदतें हैं, all the habits and your conditioned behavior is entrenched over here. Now, this is a brain which is always looking at the situation outside and others to find out whether this situation is safe or not. Okay. Now, this brain is the storehouse of all your experiences in the past. All your distractor implants, everything is stored over here. So in the past, if something happened which was dangerous, it has stored that. So in the present, if anything looks like the same thing which was there in the past, your brain will say danger. And the moment it says danger, it will trigger this brain number 1 into a state of reaction. Right? And this is the brain will then start resisting that situation. Let us say you look at someone and that person reminds you of someone from the past who was not nice to you. You will immediately start resisting that person because you are feeling threatened by that person. So this brain is where you are always giving meanings, Remember, decisions, conclusions, computations, judgments, all that lives over here. This runs your patterns. It's very rhythmic. This is where you have all your strongly held opinions and beliefs and your convictions. This is the brain which is always judging. Is this right? Is this wrong? Do I agree? Do I not agree? Is it familiar? Is it unfamiliar? This is the brain which is comparing. And it does not like this change and uncertainty. Okay. This brain is very apprehensive of uncertainty. You know, like this thing, we have this feeling of, "Hey, Baba, what is going to happen in the future?" Have you noticed always we are a bit apprehensive about it? We are not excited, okay, wow, what a great future it's going to be. We are apprehensive about the future. And this brain also wants you to feel good and easy. This brain seeks a lot of attention, right? Clear on this one? So brain number one, reaction. Brain number two triggers the reaction. It also is the place from where all your resistance comes from. So more than 95% of the time, my friends, we are in a state of what? Reaction or resistance. Reaction or resistance. Reaction or resistance. What it does is it does not allow our beautiful brain called the thinking brain to work. Okay. This brain over here, yeah, this much brain inside in the frontal cortex. This brain has a very, very high degree of control. Okay. It has a lot of choices that it can make. What do you think? Which brain is making decisions? Brain number two makes decisions because what wants you to be safe. Brain number one, brain number three makes choices. It's a future thinking brain. This is where, you know, reasoning, reflection, discrimination happens. It is always differentiating between thoughts and emotions. It knows the difference. This is the brain which has a target orientation. This brain is not at all upset with uncertainty. It loves uncertainty. It's excited, adventure. Okay. And you know what this key driver of this brain is, my friends? Curiosity, excitement, learning and growing. Right? And as I'm very fond of saying, and it's very familiar, you must have heard it from me earlier also, this is the brain which is so active in little children. Yeah. Before you send them to school, before you frighten the death out of them. They are so free, they are excited. They have a life of ease, joy, and glory, my friends. No? So here we are as wonderful, magnificent, extraordinary human beings. Okay? And we are so concerned and obsessed about, you know, getting things, having things. Obviously, we should be, because we have made it, you know, so mandatory to have all the material comforts, and we should have them also. But to have all those material comforts, guys, what do you have to do? You have to perform, right? So that's why I'm introducing to you, for those of you who don't know it, the performance formula. So one thing you understand, whatever you may want in your life, material things, money, love, respect, appreciation, you'll have to do something to get it. All right. Because one law of the universe, which we all know, is as you give, so shall you receive. A lot of people want to receive without giving anything. And then they keep on cribbing you. Why do I not get what I want? See, if your heart is so small, right, you're not open enough to give anything. So giving means a lot of things, right? You can give money, you can give your effort, you can do the right actions that are required. So the performance formula is very simple. P capital is performance. Small p means potential, and the small I means interferers. So capital P is the performance, small p is the potential. What is potential? Potential is something which we all have. Okay, guys. Inherent knowledge, skills, experience. And one big thing that we have is the ability to find out something which we don't know, the ability to learn what we need to learn. So we have infinite potential. Unfortunately, these interferers, the I, they do not allow us to express our full potential in this world. Yeah. So what are some of the common interferers that we are aware of, guys? The interferers are in the mind, correct? What kind of interferers are there in the mind?
What will somebody else think?
Okay. What else? What are the interferers we have in the mind? Beautiful. Thank you, Hasina ji.
Fear, jealous.
Fear, jealousy, these are the distractor. These are emotions. These are not the mind. Now, Kasa is talking about the emotional interferers. That when we have fear, jealousy, all these distractor implants, they don't allow us again to be at our full potential. Very good. Yes, Shakti.
Fear, anger, doubt, anxious. So many
Doubt.
things.
These are emotions, right? What are
Yes.
the interferers in our mind? Beliefs. Okay. Conclusions. Decisions that we made in the past. See, for example, you could have had an experience in your childhood and you said, oh, people are dangerous. Okay. That is what? A conclusion. Then you made a decision. People are dangerous, so be very careful when you're dealing with them. Don't trust them. That is a decision that you made. What other mental interferers we are having? One is that, oh, this I don't understand. I will never be able to understand this. Right? I am technologically challenged. That's a mental interferer. Nobody is challenged. Right? What is a mental interferer? I am not very pretty. I am an ugly person. My voice is not good. Right? My body structure is not good. I'm too fat. All this comparison business that is there in the head only, the mind. What are the interferers in the body? Lack of energy, lack of stamina, illness, blah, blah, blah. It is not allowing you to function at your full potential.
Yeah.
If you get tired easily, okay? Physically, you don't want to challenge yourself, If somebody says, come, let's go for a walk, you say, no, I cannot walk, my body is too weak to walk. See, it's a combination of the mind and body interferers coming inside, stopping you from being who you are. Right? Emotional interferers, we know very well. But then how about looking at energetic interferers? So with our mind, body, emotions, with our judgments, with our conclusions, okay? With all the distractors that we have, we are creating, what we call as the energetic interferers as well. So when we have these energetic interferers, we are blocking the oneness. Remember, we start from oneness. So we are separating from the power of the oneness with our interferers. And at the energetic level, we are not allowing the free flow of the energy. See, the energy is good when it flows. It's like water, water which is stagnant, what happens to it? Water which is stagnant, what happens to it?
It stinks.
Yeah, it starts stinking, sad jata hai, right? So if you are energetically stagnant, what kind of a life do you think you will have? Huh? If you're energetically stagnant, what's going to be the kind of life you're going to have?
Stagnant life.
Yeah. Is it a life of ease? Will it be a life of joy? So one of these days, I'm going to teach you how to have an energetic bath, You can start the flow of energy. So when we are blocking the flow of energy, it's interesting, little premature, but I'm telling you, energy goes where our attention goes. So if I'm putting up defensive walls, right, mentally, then we are erecting energetic walls also, no? One is the physical, like you're putting up a wall, stay away from people, don't listen to them, judge them. Why do we judge people? Because we want to be safe. What else is the need to judge ourselves and others? Have you ever thought about it? I mean, we are judging machines. We're always judging. It's become so much a part of our nature, we don't even notice that we are judging. Some people open their mouth, they will be judging. Only judging statements will come out. So if we are doing that at this level, then energetically, what do you think will be? Will you be open to receive? So there'll be moments when you open, you know, like when I'm doing, let's say, a Symphony of Possibility session with you, you will be open to receive it at that moment. I hope so. There also we ask you, drop all your barriers and be willing to receive. Correct? And the moment it's over, again, you can close yourself up, no? Because what makes us close up, you know, band karte fatak jo, it's because we are judging. Judging, concluding, comparing, deciding, blocking. So we want to work at all these 4 levels. That's the difference between the EMC and anything else you might be doing, right? Mostly we work on mental, physical, emotional level. Here we want to work with you at the energetic level as well. So welcome to the journey. Now, let me talk a little bit about what I spoke yesterday to you. Yeah, just as a reminder, because we'll be doing a lot of work on this. So when you find yourself in a situation that you are not able to change, how many of you have found yourself in some situation which you are not able to change? Some situations we are able to change, some situations we are not able to change. So how many of you find yourself in a situation which you are not able to change? Can you raise your hands, please? Not your energetic hand, but your virtual hand. Situation you find yourself which you are not able to change. Right. One of the things some people cannot change is that I will not raise my hand no matter what happens. Very good. If you don't want to raise your hand, you can put in the chat box. You don't have to tell us what is that situation you don't want to change. Yeah, we all have some situations which we cannot change. Na? We are humans after all. हमारा काम ही है resist करना, react करना. Okay, so you can lower your hands now. So there are these wonderful people who don't have any situation that they want to change. Yay, bravo, congratulations. How nice. So when you are in a situation which you are unable to change, then you may be stuck in some distractor implant. That is one of the biggest interferers that is there. In fact, there are many of them. All right. So what is that? What is a distractor implant? This implant is something energetically which is entrenched, you know, embedded in you, in your universe, in your reality. And it is designed to be triggered by the events of your life and to create distractions that will keep you from being the wonderful, magnificent, extraordinary person that you are, and to have a life that you deserve. These are the implants, and you have to learn how to deal with them. So they are the reason we believe that we don't have a choice. So what are these distractor implants? Anybody who knows it? What are the distractor implants we have?
Anger.
Very nice. Come on, make a guess. We all know them.
Guilt.
Rage, furious, hatred.
right?
Judging.
And
Beliefs.
beliefs are separate from distractor implants.
Shame, blame.
Yeah, shame, blame,
Hate, rage,
hate.
guilt, fury,
Yeah. Anger, rage, fury, hate,
Resignation.
blame, shame, regret. See, from regret, it moves on to resignation. Okay? Blame, shame, regret, guilt.
addictive, compulsive, and perverted point
Obsessive,
of
perverted points of views. Love. Interestingly, love is a distractor implant.
So
Sex,
peace.
it's jealousy, and peace also. Interesting, then? Life, death, living, reality, fear, doubt, business, relationship. So many distractor implants.
Sir, on a lighter note, is there marriage in that list?
Enna, sir?
There
See,
a
your,
marriage.
Marriage is there in that list, sir.
I know. So become sannyasi and then visit the Dubai Marina from time to time. Oh, we have got a new person today. Girish, good morning. So nice to have you here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So interferers is what we are dealing with, and we will continue to deal with them. Okay. So a couple of things very important to remember is staying in the oneness. All these interferers don't allow us to stay in the oneness also. Yes, Sajid, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Sajid.
So, yes, sir. I have a question, quick question. So, as you were talking about the brains and how we react and how we respond with each and every part of our brain and how they are connected with. So, I would like to ask that is how we react and respond is anything related to, or it related to what related to our genetics or something like that, or it's
No, there is no, like, I cannot comment on that because I'm not an expert on genetics. But believe you me, genetics has given you brain number 1. That is the reactive brain. Okay.
okay.
And reactive brain got certain amount of programming is there, because if you see, the baby also will flinch in certain situations. Certain thing is planted to keep him safe, na, physically.
Yes.
So certain amount of it probably is there, a genetic memory or whatever they call it.
Okay. So
But
and we can change that also. That is, if
I
someone
believe so.
come from warrior and their ancestors were warriors, so they have different kind of reaction towards warlike situation. But a person
Maybe. Even, but see, that was a very nice. Why don't you do one thing? There is a book called The Biology of Beliefs. Okay?
Biology of Greek
Beliefs.
Okay.
Beliefs. It's written by Dr. Bruce Lipton, who's a genetic scientist. All right. So I don't want to explain that book here right now. You read it, you will find out how your beliefs are affecting you at the genetic level also. All right. So that means the genetic implants can also be changed. Yeah. So the important thing is that if we want to be powerful, we want to be effective, and we want to have a life of ease and joy, then one thing which we have to do is keep on working on our interference. जो मेरी रुकावटें हैं, जो मुझे रोकती हैं, at a mental, physical, emotional level, at the energetic level, the more we remove these so-called rukawatein, the more powerful we will live, the more joy and ease we will have. Incidentally, the more you clear your energetic being, the more money you will be able to manifest. Isn't it a wonderful state that you think and it happens? It does happen, but we don't know it. So that's the journey that we are going into. And by the way, just for your information, that many of you have attended my Access Bars program, right? So one of the main things that will happen in that bars program is that many of these distractor implants will be removed at a very deep energetic level. Yeah. So just for your information, I'm doing one Access Bars program on 8th and 9th of this month in Mumbai. So if you guys are interested, you can let me know. So coming back to working with our interferers. So one big interferer that we have is we don't use our brains fully. Okay. So I don't have to repeat something which you already know, that we mostly use only 12 or 13% of our brain. And as we get older, the brain starts deteriorating. Why? Because we may be exercising our body, we don't exercise our brain, we don't exercise our mind. Now, in order to facilitate that, we always include one brain exercise session. I call it my brain gym session. So to conduct the brain gymnastics for you today morning, as usual, we are inviting Ms. Priya Gupta, who is very happy and excited to help us to do these exercises. We are happy and excited to do the exercises. So
Yes.
go ahead, Priya.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I'll request everyone to be on screen and smile and be happy. Yeah, virtual sir is all set. Awesome. So the first exercise as we do is hand and fist, where fist is in upward direction and hand is towards the fist like this. Right. Now you close and switch. The new participants, please notice that you do not need to rest your hands on something, just let them hang in the air. So slowly like this we do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes. The next one, what we used to do is thumb and pinky finger, right? Now we can switch to another one, which is index and pinky finger.
What?
Index and pinky finger.
Oh,
Index of one hand and pinky finger of another. You
I-
close
okay.
and you switch like this.
Um,
Close and switch. Let's see how many of us are able to do it. Slowly close and switch. गिरीश सर, इन एक हाथ का इंडेक्स फिंगर लीजिए फर्स्ट, हाँ, और दूसरे हाथ का पिंकी फिंगर. यस, द लास्ट वन. उनको बंद करके ये स्विच टू अदर साइड. यस. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll practice it again tomorrow. Let's switch to another one, which is the elephant one. So we'll do elephant first. We clap our hands, and with one hand touch your nose, and with another touch your ear. First you need to clap, okay? Yes, and then switch. Your ear hand is coming from outside. Yes, like great. Clap and touch. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. Next is victory and pistol. Victory sign is towards the screen. Opposite, sir, Girish sir. And victory is towards the pistol. Just close and switch to other side. Victory sign ऐसे दिखाइए, बाहर की तरफ होगा, screen की तरफ. Yes. Close and switch. Victory sir is proactive. Like this. 5, 4, 3, 2. Awesome. Let's switch to the spider one. For this, you need 2 fingers. Index finger over each other first, and the middle finger above them, like the cross. Now you move your index finger over the middle ones. Able to do it, sir? Girish sir, since you are new, you need to work together. ऊपर की तरफ लेकर जाए. हाँ, index fingers, if you see, index fingers are coming up from inside, and the middle fingers are coming up from outside. Yes. Keep them moving up. Once your brain gets, accustomed to this action, it will just move quickly. Now let's move our fingers down. So we are moving down from, index fingers are moving down from inside, and the middle ones are moving down from outside. Let's begin our counting. 5, 4, 3, 2, yes, and 1. Awesome. Next is, which one is the next?
This one.
The fist one, yes. You straighten your hands, join them together, bring it towards you. Now count till 10, starting from the thumb. Make sure you open one finger at a time, or just try using it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now reverse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now slowly release your hand down. Do we have more time, sir?
No,
Okay.
we are
Over
already
to you, sir.
5 minutes over time, right? All right, one quick guidance for you is that, see, we are not going to be putting the link on the group anymore. Okay? Like, people are getting the link. Even Hasina ji was the first person to join, and she used the link that she got from the tech team, the XLE link, right? So please use that link, right? And all the people who have registered on the EMC with, there is a link available to you. You can use it and register. Those who have registered, they'll definitely get the link. Okay. So yes, Kasa, you wanted to say something?
On a lighter note, sir, if we don't do brain gymnastics, the brain get nasty.
All right, great. Thank you
Thanks.
everybody for being
Thank you,
here
sir.
this morning, and have a wonderful day. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow morning on a wonderful Sunday that it is. Bye bye. God bless you. See you
Thank you.
tomorrow.
God bless everyone.